So what if some ancient texts, held the real secrets? Not just about divine stuff, maybe about how we should live, how we should learn, even today.
It's a powerful question, isn't it?
Welcome, everyone. We're doing a deep dive today into some profound wisdom, specifically Chapter 4 of the Bhagavad Gita.
That's the one called Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga.
Right, the yoga of knowledge, action, and renunciation. Quite a title.
It definitely covers a lot of ground.
And our mission, really, is to unpack the key ideas from the source material. We have excerpts from Chapter 4 and see how these, timeless concepts like divine incarnation, knowledge versus action, the sacrifice of knowledge, how they might actually offer some surprising clarity, maybe even some practical guidance for you listening right now.
Absolutely. We want to make it engaging, clarify the big ideas without getting bogged down in, overly academic jargon.
Exactly. So let's jump in. The chapter kicks off with this really fascinating history, a lineage for this knowledge.
Yeah, that's right. What's immediately striking is Krishna telling Arjuna, look, this yoga, this divine insight, it's not something I just came up with.
Oh, really? So it's older?
Much older. He says he originally taught it to Surya Dev. The sun god Vivasvan is another name.
Wow, okay, the sun god.
And from Surya Dev, it was passed down through, kings, wise rulers, sages, a whole lineage.
So this knowledge has quite the pedigree then, an ancient tradition.
A very ancient one. But the text says that over vast stretches of time, this knowledge became obscured. It kind of faded from common understanding.
Ah, so it got lost along the way.
Pretty much. Or at least its true depth was lost. And now Krishna says he's teaching that very same ancient divine knowledge directly to Arjuna.
So it's like a restoration.
Exactly. It immediately signals how important and fundamental this teaching is. It's not just a casual conversation.
And it makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
About how truths can disappear and then, resurface. What does that say about wisdom itself? Maybe things you feel are true but seem forgotten today.
It definitely speaks to the enduring power of certain insights.
Okay, but then comes a part that's, pretty mind-bending for Arjuna. He's understandably a bit confused by this claim, right?
Oh, completely. He basically says, hang on, you were born recently in my lifetime. Surya Dev, the sun god, he lived ages and ages ago. How could you have taught him?
It's a fair question.
It is. And it's Arjuna's sort of logical bewilderment that pushes Krishna to reveal something profound about his own nature.
Ah, okay. What does he say?
Krishna tells him, and this is huge, "Oh, Arjuna, I have taken many births, and so have you. The difference is, I remember all of mine, you don't remember yours."
Whoa. Okay. So it's not just about history, it's about the nature of being itself. He remembers, we forget.
Precisely. This isn't just a detail about past lives, it's a core revelation. It establishes Krishna's unique status.
How so? What's the implication of him remembering?
Well, it points directly to his divine nature. He's the divine avatar, eternal beyond the normal human cycle of birth, death, and forgetting, even while participating in it. We're bound by that forgetfulness, but he isn't.
That fundamentally changes how Arjuna must see him and how we should understand him, I guess.
It unveils the mystery, yeah. His eternal existence versus our, transient, forgetful one.
And that leads perfectly into the next big idea.
Yeah.
Why does he take these forms? Why incarnate? He talks about avatar, right?
Yes, exactly. And this leads to one of the most famous, probably most quoted verses in the entire Gita.
Which one is that?
Krishna states it very clearly. Whenever righteousness dharma declines and unrighteousness adharma is on the rise, then I manifest myself.
Okay, so it's a response to imbalance in the world.
A direct response. He incarnates when things go wrong, essentially.
And what's the goal? Why does he do it?
He gives two main reasons. One, to reestablish dharma, that righteous order, and two, for the destruction of adharma, of unrighteousness or evil.
Protecting the good, destroying the wicked, essentially.
Yeah. In essence, yes. But more broadly, it's about restoring balance, upholding the cosmic order. It's a fundamental principle of divine intervention.
It really makes you think about cycles, doesn't it?
Yeah.
This idea that righteousness declines, then needs restored. Maybe not just on a cosmic scale, but, in history or even in our own lives or communities.
Absolutely. It suggests a dynamic process, maybe implies that vigilance and effort are always needed to maintain what's right and good.
Okay, so moving beyond Krishna's specific divine nature and purpose, how does Chapter 4 guide us in our own lives? What does it say about, say, knowledge and action?
This is crucial. Krishna really emphasizes that true knowledge isn't just abstract, head knowledge.
They have to be practical.
Deeply practical. True knowledge is what guides right action. He uses this powerful metaphor. He says knowledge destroys ignorance like fire destroys fuel. And when actions are performed in that fire of knowledge.
Burnt in the fire of knowledge. I like that image.
Hmm.
What does that mean, though, practically speaking,
Yeah.
for someone listening?
It means when you act with genuine understanding, with this enlightened awareness, and importantly, without being attached to the results, the outcomes of your actions,
Okay.
then those actions no longer bind you. They don't create negative karma or keep you stuck in cycles. They become liberating instead of entangling.
So it's not about not acting, which sometimes people think yoga or spirituality is about.
Not at all. That's a key point here. It's not about inaction. The chapter stresses this balance. Knowledge, turna, action, karma, and renunciation, sannyasa, which here really means renunciation of attachment to results, not renunciation of action itself.
So acting, but acting wisely with detachment.
Exactly. Acting with enlightened awareness. It's a very active path.
That really changes how you might look at your daily grind, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How often do we just go through the motions without that deeper understanding? What if, your commute, your work, your chores were burnt in the fire of knowledge?
It shifts the perspective entirely. It turns mundane action into a form of spiritual practice.
Then Krishna takes it even further, right? He introduces this idea of jnana yajna, the sacrifice of knowledge. What's that about?
Yeah, this is another profound point. He declares that this sacrifice of knowledge, this jnana yajna, is actually the highest form of sacrifice, or yajna.
Higher than, like, rituals or offerings.
Superior to all of them, according to Krishna, because, physical offerings deal with external things, but the sacrifice of knowledge deals with the root cause of bondage, which is ignorance.
Okay, that makes sense. It tackles the problem at its source.
Precisely.
So how do we do that? How do we perform this highest sacrifice? How do we get this knowledge?
Krishna is very direct about this. He lays out the prerequisites. You need humility, you need a willingness to serve, and you need genuine inquisitiveness, the desire to ask questions.
So it's not just about reading a book.
Definitely not passive. He advises, go to those who are wise, who have seen the truth, ask them questions humbly, serve them. And through that interaction, that relationship,
They will impart the knowledge?
yes, they will initiate you into that wisdom. It really highlights the importance of having a teacher, a guide, and approaching learning with the right attitude. Not arrogance, but humility and genuine curiosity.
It really frames learning as an active, engaged process. Makes you reflect, doesn't it?
Yeah.
On how you approach learning new things. Are you bringing that humility? Are you asking the deep questions? Who are the wise people you could learn from?
It's a powerful model for lifelong learning, really.
So let's try and boil this down. If we bring all these threads together from Chapter 4, what's the main takeaway?
I think the absolute core message is about balance, this necessary dynamic interplay between knowledge, action, and renunciation of attachment, that is.
Right. And that true knowledge isn't just collecting information, it's something active, something that burns away ignorance.
Exactly. And when you combine that kind of knowledge with right action, detached action, that's the path to peace, to liberation, ultimately.
And crucially, getting that knowledge isn't automatic. It requires effort, humility, seeking guidance.
Yes, it's an engaged pursuit. You have to seek it out, serve it, be open to it. It requires actively approaching those who embody that wisdom.
So it's really not just ancient philosophy locked away in a text. It feels more like a blueprint for living effectively, how your inner state, your wisdom directly shapes your outer life, your actions.
That's a great way to put it. Inner wisdom transforming outer action.
Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive, here's something to maybe mull over.
Okay.
If Krishna himself, this eternal divine being, points out that knowledge gets lost and needs reviving cyclically, what important knowledge, what profound truths might be lying dormant now? Maybe forgotten in our world or even in your own life?
That's a fascinating thought. What wisdom is waiting to be rediscovered?
And maybe more importantly, how could embracing these principles from the Gita, like jnana yajna, that humble inquiry, that service to wisdom, how could that actually empower you to uncover some of that forgotten knowledge for yourself?